Okay, hello everybody, shalom. I am back again doing another video. In this video, I wanted to give you guys an update on what happened with the Jordan Edwards trial. So yesterday, I did a video just giving you guys a little bit of background information on the trial and letting you know what was currently going on, which was the sentencing phase of the trial. So like I said yesterday, the prosecution got a chance to put their witnesses on the stand to speak against the character of the defendant, ex-officer Oliver. And today, the defense got a chance to put their witnesses on the stand to speak for the character of Officer Oliver, ex-officer Oliver. And so I believe the jury had to go and deliberate to come up with the sentencing. And so a couple of hours later, they came back with the decision. And I want y'all to hear this. The decision that they came up with was a $10,000 fine and 15 years in prison. Yes, you heard me right. 15 years in prison for a murder. He was charged with murder. And they came up with 15 years in prison. 15 years, which is the same amount of years that Jordan lived. And it definitely does not do this situation justice at all. At all. And I have a mix of emotions right now between anger and sorrow. I didn't know, of course, I didn't know Jordan personally. But when you have a situation that requires justice, you root for justice. And it definitely was not served. Definitely was not. But nonetheless, this coward is going to have to spend, and let me kind of give y'all a breakdown. So like I said yesterday, the crime happened back in April of 2017, last year. Okay, that was last year. So I believe that from that time up until the trial, he had been in jail. So he's going to get time served, about a year and a half. And you know that with a sentencing like that, you receive parole. You're eligible for parole at about the halfway mark. So 15 years at the halfway mark is 7.5 years, minus the year and a half of time served is going to give him about 6 years that he'll have to serve. 6 years. And you know that he's not going to be in general population for the simple fact that he is an ex-officer, and they would tear him up. They would tear him up in prison. So he's probably going to be off somewhere in isolation with, with his gourmet meals and his preferential treatment and his cable TV, and probably just going to wait out his 6 years and be back out on the streets. And what angered me about this situation is that I know for a fact that there are some black men, so-called black men, that are in prison now, that will still be in prison for nonviolent crimes after this officer is released. So how does a person who commits a violent crime get sentenced to less time than someone who commits a nonviolent crime? That doesn't make sense. And they want us to have faith in this justice system. And they want to put that statue up there of the lady with the scales and the blindfold on. But I'm telling y'all, years ago, I had this imagery in my head that blindfold, she's peeking. And those scales, they're not balanced. They're tipping. But I do say this. I will say this. All praise to the Most High. because the situation could have been a lot worse. In past situations that we've seen that have happened similar to this, a lot of times, most of the time, the officer is not indicted or charged for the crime. So in this situation, I would say, on a positive note, at least he was indicted and charged. In my opinion, did he get the full extent of what he should have gotten as far as a punishment for the crime? No. No, he didn't. But he will have to live with the decision he made that night for the rest of his life. Will he be empathetic to, Jordan's family or the victim himself? I don't know. But the fact remains that he is going to have to deal with it for the rest of his life. And I hope it eats him up. And I also pray that the Most High judges this situation. Swift judgment. Because just as Abel's blood cried out from the ground when his brother Cain killed him, Jordan's blood cries out from the ground. And we serve a Elohim of justice, righteous, the capital THE, righteous judge. So, above my feelings, above how the sympathy or the empathy that I have for the family, I pray that the Most High's will be done in this situation. Whatever the purpose is, or whatever the purpose was for the loss of life, I pray that the Most High's will be done in this. And I would just encourage y'all to pray for the family. Pray for their peace. Pray for their understanding. Pray that they come together in this situation to comfort one another. Definitely the parents who lost their son. For the friends who lost their friend. For the family members who lost their relative. Just pray for peace for them. And comfort. So I didn't want to, as always, I don't want to drag videos on with, just mindless talking. But I just wanted to update the video that I did yesterday. And that's it. I'm going to wrap it up here, y'all. Have a good day and be blessed. Shalom.